Hi and welcome. My name is Kristen Calabria and I'm going to be your Yoga Strong coach today. Today we're going to be working on a 45-minute open level vinyasa practice. All you'll really need is your Yoga Strong mat and maybe a few blocks. If you are practicing at home and you don't have blocks, you can always use a stack of books, a water bottle, a pet, an ottoman, just anything that's going to bring the ground a little bit closer to your hands. So with all of that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started today in Supta Baddha Konasana. So let's make our way onto our backs about midway down our mat. We'll bring the soles of our feet together so that they touch. Allow the knees to fall open like the pages of a book. Let the eyes fall gently shut. And then you may want to take your hands and rest them somewhere on your body if that feels nice. You can also take your arms, reach them up and overhead, bend your elbows in half and hold on to opposite elbow. You might do a little bit of a shimmy of your shoulders here. Shimmy of your hips, just to allow the whole of your body to settle in a little bit closer into the mat. And then start to empty out all of the air inside of you. Take a big breath in through your nose, filling up your belly, filling up your heart, filling up your head, all the way to the very top. And do a big sigh out of your mouth. Then we'll do two more like that. So filling yourself up, bottoms of your feet, up through your belly, up through your heart to the very top of your head, maybe even the tips of your elbows. And empty out all of the air. And then one more time like that, breathing in through your nose, filling yourself all the way up. And emptying everything out. Start to invite your Ujjayi Pranayama into the practice. So that's breathing in and out through your nose, allowing there to be this sort of drag of the air across the back of your throat. And that the feeling of the breath, the sound of it in your own head is going to act as our anchor for practice. So sometimes in the yoga practice, the teacher or the guide will ask you to leave everything off of your mat, come into this fresh, clean space. And sometimes that way of practicing is incredibly beneficial. It allows us space and time to just be with ourselves. But the reality of our lives is that it's very hard to leave any part of us, any thought, any feeling, any challenge, any worry, any anxiety off of our mats or out of our life. And so what I'll encourage you today to do during this 45-minute practice is all of that stuff that is weighing heavily on you. The worry, the anxiety, the sadness, the sensation in your body that's uncomfortable. I'm going to encourage you to bring it onto the mat today and use these 45 minutes as a period of open exploration. How can I, with more ease and grace, encounter the things that are distressing to me? There's no consequences here, so you can try something, it might not work, and then you try something else. This practice is kind of like your laboratory. When you feel ready for movement, start to gently wiggle your fingers and toes, and then we'll go ahead and reach our arms nice and long for a full body stretch, our legs nice and long. So big stretch, maybe right side a little bit more, and then left side a little bit more. And then we'll hug our knees up and into our heart and give ourselves a big squeeze, maybe a little bit of a rock side to side here. Then I'd like you to keep your right knee to your chest, extend your left leg long onto the mat, and use both of your hands to compress your thigh against your torso. On your exhale, you'll curl your head, neck, and shoulders up and off of your mat, and then maybe you'll float your left knee, or heel rather, as well off of the ground so that you feel a little bit more sensation in your core. So this is the challenging part. I want you to keep your thigh as close to your torso as possible. Reach your two hands forward here. Good. Exhale, draw your navel in and back. Hold for 4, 3, 2, and then switch it out. So relax everything to the ground. Hug your left knee into your chest. Right leg goes long. And then you're going to use your arms here to very actively compress your thigh against your torso. On your next exhale, you'll curl your head, neck, and shoulders up and off of your mat. Float your right leg off of the mat as well. And then see if you can keep this compression, thigh towards belly. Reach your hands forward, navel draws in, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Lift both of your legs up to the sky, flex your feet, draw the navel in, press the lower spine into the mat. And then hands can either be by your sides or for more of a challenge, up and overhead. You'll take an inhale and lower your legs so if they hover a few inches above your mat. And then exhale, lift the legs back up to start. So inhale, lowering down. Exhale, lifting back up. We're here for 4. Inhale, lower down. Squeeze the inner thighs together. So the idea here is to flex the feet, squeeze the inner thighs, kick up through the heels so that the knees stay as straight as possible. One more time here. Legs lift, and then hug your knees into your chest. And start to rock and roll up and down the length of your spine. We'll get enough momentum to roll over our feet and make our way into our hands and knees tabletop. So you want to come back, center onto your mat, hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. On your inhale, you'll arch and look up towards your sky, opening your chin away from your chest. Then on your exhale, you'll hollow out, press the palms into the mat, then around your shoulders. So you're protracting your shoulders, you're separating the shoulders away from one another. On your inhale, come back into that cow spine, arching, looking up towards the sky. Exhale, rounding into your angry cat. And then one more time, inhale, arch and look up. Exhale, round and look in. Keep the protraction, keep the heavy press of the palms. You can either tuck your toes, or if you want to challenge, you'll keep your toes pointed on the ground. Hover your knees an inch off of your mat. Shift the weight slightly more forward into the palms. Keep that active press away from the ground. And then lift your hips all the way up and back. Ooh, big crack there. Coming into your down dog. And then you have the option here, pedal push your heels. You can wag your tail from side to side, shake your head, whatever feels nice to you. As you're ready, you'll keep your left foot on the ground. Send the right leg up to the sky, coming into your down dog split. Bend the knee, open up the hip, and do any movement that feels good. So this is kind of a moment of open exploration. And then when you're ready, you'll draw your knee into your chest and lightly step your foot forward in between your palms. If your foot doesn't make it there, just wiggle it forward. Lower your left knee down to the ground and reach both of your arms up to the sky, coming into Anjaneyasana, your kneeling warrior. So we want to press down into the right heel. Get the right knee to anchor above the heel. Then you'll lift the arms up on the inhale. Interlace the hands, slide the hands behind the back of your skull, and then crack the elbows open nice and wide. So you'll feel a little bit of sensation across your chest. Take an inhale. On your exhale, we'll go for what I call an elbow twist. So your left elbow forward, your right elbow towards the back of the space. It's going to be a little bit more challenging to twist with your hands behind your head. You'll feel a difference when we do open up our arms. Focus now on this back right elbow. See if you can press it even farther open. Draw the navel in, hug the right knee in towards the center of your body. Good, and then open up your arms and notice how there's a little bit more space here to twist. We'll take the right hand to the small of our back, press our hips forward, lift the left fingertips up on the inhale. On the exhale, left hand comes down to the ground, right fingertips go up towards the sky. I'm gonna heel toe my right foot out to the right a little bit, come onto the pinky edge side of my foot, and allow my right knee to bow out to the side. That might be a lot for your body. You can always keep your foot flat on the ground. If you're ready for even more sensation, you'll reach your right hand behind you, bend your right knee and hold on to your foot. So we're gonna move through a few different types of stretches here. The first one is just staying here with your heel far away from your butt, sinking your hips forward. To get more into the belly of the quad, I want you to pull your heel in towards your butt, lift your hips up slightly. Good, and then we'll try that again. So inhale, releasing. Exhale, heel in towards your butt. Good. And if you're moving here with me, you can always twist even more as you extend your leg back, just to get a little bit more openness in your chest. And bend. Good. 2 more times. And then 1 more time. Good. Let's release. 2 hands down to the ground. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, and then straighten your front right leg, coming into a pyramid pose. So my friends who have tight hamstrings, that right leg feels a little tight, stay high on the ball of your left foot. That will lessen the intensity here, or you can bring your hands onto blocks. If you want more, you're gonna flex your right toes up towards the sky, so just the point of your right heel is on the ground, and then you'll forward fold, letting your head just fall down. Good. Let's slowly rebend that right knee and step to the top of our mat, coming into our first forward fold. So option to have your knees bent here. There's no need to lock out the legs right now. And then I like to take my hands on the ground for the first forward fold and just do a little sway side to side, kind of like you're an elephant searching for a peanut. And then as you're ready, you'll return to stillness. Keep the knees soft, tuck the chin to the chest, and then 1 vertebra at a time, roll all the way up to standing. Arms will sweep up and overhead. You'll take your hands interlaced behind the back of your skull, like how we did in our lunge. Open your elbows up nice and wide. Lift your chest. Let the weight of your head fall back into your palms. Take a tiny back bend here on the inhale. Hands stay behind your skull. Exhale, elbows narrow in. You'll draw the crown of your head all the way back down to the ground. Just do a little bit of a self-assist here. Can you pull your head down towards the earth a little bit more as you tip your tailbone up? Then we'll keep our hands behind our head and take our flat back halfway lift, so elbows will go nice and wide. Then on an exhale, both hands will come down to the mat. We'll step ourselves back to our high plank pose, shift the weight forward, bend the elbows and bring our bellies down to the mat. So first time we do this is a modified version of vinyasa. We'll take our hands off of the mat, elbows narrow in, lift the chest and gaze, and then exhale, press yourself back into your child's pose, hips will go to heels. On your inhale, let's come forward into our tabletop, and then exhale, hips up and back, coming into your downward facing dog. And if you need, take a moment, adjust, wiggle, pedal push your heels, do the things that feel good. And then we'll move on to our next side. So on the inhale, float your left leg up to the sky, down dog split, bend the knee, open up the hip, and just do some movement. Re-extend that leg on the inhale, exhale, draw your knee into your nose, step your foot forward, then we'll lower our right knee down to the ground, inhale, both arms up to the sky, coming into Anjane. Again, just double check alignment here so that we're not twerking our knee, knee over your heel, heel into the floor. Hands behind the back of the skull, elbows nice and wide on the inhale. Exhale, find that elbow twist, right elbow forward, left elbow back. Again, try to keep your knees stacked over your heel. See if you can open up that left elbow even further towards the back of your mat, knowing that this version of the twist is a little bit harder than the open arm twist. On your inhale, open up your arms, and then we'll take our left hand to the small of our back, reach our right fingertips up towards the sky. Exhale, let's bring our right hand down to the ground, left hand up, and again, I'm gonna do the thing where I heel toe my left foot out to the left, and bow my knee out to the side. If this feels okay, you're ready for even more sensation, you reach your left hand back behind you, bend your right knee, and receive the foot in your hand. So it's fine to stay here, but again, you can do a little bit more for the belly of the quad, and then also that hip flexor if you add movement here. So bringing the heel in towards the butt, you're just lifting your hips up slightly to get into the belly of the quad. Then on your inhale, you'll release, twist a little bit deeper, and we'll do that 3 more times. So exhale, heel in towards the butt. Inhale, release and twist. 2 more. Exhale, heel in towards the butt. Inhale, release and twist, and then 1 more time. Exhale, heel in towards the butt. Inhale, release, twist, and then take both of your hands down to the ground. We'll tuck our back right toes, lift our knee, and come into our pyramid pose. So again, if you're really tight in your hamstrings, stay high on the ball of your right heel, or bring your hands into blocks. If you have more availability, drop the right heel down to the ground, flex the left toes up towards the sky, square your hips, so pull the left hip back in space as you push your right hip forward in space. And then we'll lower our left toes down, rebend the knee, and step forward to the top of our mat, just coming into our forward fold. So you have a few different options. Might feel nice to hold on to your opposite elbows, might feel nice to keep your hands on the ground, might feel nice to be in stillness, might feel nice to wave side to side. It's definitely your choice here. I want you to feel like There are always options in the practice, and you get to move how your body is telling you it needs to move. Good, from here we'll soften our knees and roll all the way up to standing. Arms will reach up and overhead, and then you'll take your hands behind the back of your skull, crack the elbows nice and wide, lift the chest, lift the gaze. Exhale, elbows narrow, pull your head down towards the ground, forward folds. Inhale, elbows open, flat back, halfway lift, full vinyasa, hands down, step back into your high plank, shift the weight forward, bend the elbows halfway. Point the toes, lift the chest and the gaze. Inhale, coming into your up dog. Exhale, hips up and back, coming into your downward facing dog. Good, we'll take a full cycle of breath. Inhale through our noses. And exhale, let it go. Good. From here, lift your heels, bend your knees, look forward, hop or step, step. Forward fold, top of your mats. Inhale, take your flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, bowing back down to forward fold. Inhale, rise to stand, arms reach up and overhead. Exhale, bow down, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, two hands down, step back or jump back, high plank pose through your vinyasa. Bending the elbows, heart will go up towards the sky on the inhale, hips will go up towards the sky on the exhale. We'll find our way into downward facing dog and take a full cycle of breath here, inhaling through the nose and exhaling. Good, lift your heels, bend your knees, look forward, hop or step, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, bowing down. Inhale, send the arms up to the sky, high prayer above your head. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, two hands down. You can step, step, jump, or skip your vinyasa. No right or wrong here. Downward facing dog. When you're ready, this time we're doing 2 full cycles of breath. So finding a little bit more space in your back body. That includes your spine, that includes your lower back, that includes your hamstrings. Lift your heels, bend your knees, look forward, hop or step, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, arms reach up, high prayer. Exhale, bowing down, forward folds. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, hands down, step, jump, skip your vinyasa. Heart goes up. Hips go up, downward facing dog, 3 cycles of breath here. So each time we come back to down dog, we're increasing the amount of breaths that we hold the posture for. That's to help us understand this concept of distress tolerance. Some of us feel a little bit more comfortable moving. Some of us will feel a little bit more comfortable in stillness. Each time we pause and we find our down dog, the people who feel stillness is uncomfortable are challenging the amount of distress they're able to tolerate. Let's lift our heels, bend our knees, look forward. This is a little bit different, hop or step, forward fold. Heel toe your feet together, we're coming into a chair pose. Arms will go up, hips will go low. So instead of finding a back bend here in the lower back, really important, I want you to think about the bottom part of your ribs and the top part of your hips. Bring those together. Notice how that flattened out my lower back. Keep that, shift the hips back, sit down low into your chair. Feel that intensity in your quads. Again, a distress tolerance challenge. Drive the heels into the mat. Inhale, rise up, high prayer. Exhale, bow down, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, hands down, step, step, or jump back. Chaturanga. Downward facing dog as your exhale. Hips are up and back. As you're ready, right leg will float up to the sky. Inhale, down dog split. Exhale, step your right foot behind your wrist. Pivot your left heel down to the mat, warrior 1. We're rising up nice and strong, bending deeply into that front knee. Again, instead of finding a back bend, hips towards ribs, nice strong core here. Exhale, both hands down to the mat, step back, high plank, vinyasa of your choice. Downward facing dog, hips up and back, left leg up, inhale. Exhale, left foot steps behind your wrist. Inhale, both arms up, warrior 1. Again, tendency for the back bend here. Hips towards ribs. Find that solid core. Inhale. Exhale, both hands down, high plank. Chaturanga. Heart up on the inhale. Hips up on the exhale, downward facing dog. One more time with the heels. Bend the knees, look forward, hop or step, forward folds. Heel toe your feet together, chair pose. Hips towards ribs. Hands up. Tailbone down. Good, take one more big breath in. And then on your exhale, we'll forward fold, and we'll just hang out here in our forward fold for a moment. Hold on to opposite elbows. Sway side to side. Hopefully those breath to movements on salutations have warmed up your body, have warmed up your breath. Good, take one more inhale and exhale. Let's come into our flat back halfway lift. Hands will come down, we'll step or jump back, chaturanga. Heart up on the inhale, hips up on the exhale. It's getting so hot I had to put my hair up, y'all. Not fun to do sweaty yoga with long hair. Okay, here we go. We're getting into the main part of our practice now. On the inhale, float your right leg up to the sky, down dog split. On your exhale, draw your knee into your nose, lightly step your foot forward in between your palms. Left hand's gonna stay down, right hand will circle up towards the sky. We're coming into a low lunge twist. So this low lunge twist is gonna turn into one of my favorite shapes. I call it boomerang. Drop your left heel to the ground, turn your right toes to the long edge of your mat, and then reach your right hand back towards your left foot. So it does look like my leg is resting on the ground, but I actually have a lot of activity supporting myself here. I also happen to be quite mobile in this posture. So if you feel like you can't get all the way down, that's cool. Your boomerang might look like this, but what I do want is an IT band stretch. On your inhale, you're gonna lift your hips all the way up and reach your right bicep by your right ear. Good, and then we'll try that again. So exhale, lowering down. Inhale, lifting up. One more time, exhale, lower down. Now this time, inhale, lift up, all 10 toes forward, crawl your hands forward, and float your left leg up and off of your mat. So this might be a moment where you utilize blocks or your water bottle or your pets to find support in warrior 3. Abs are pulling in, open your chin away from your chest. It's a little bit different than what normally happens. I want you to bend your right knee, bend your left knee so that your heel comes really close to your butt, and then try to get your knee to tap the very bottom part of your ankle. So this is a very deep squat, hands on the ground for the first time. Inhale, kick that leg back, open the chin away from the chest, and then exhale, tap knee behind ankle. So it's really low, try to keep the hamstring engagement. Inhale, kick back, and then one more time, exhale, knee to ankle. Whoo, I feel that in the glutes. Inhale, kick back. And then on your exhale, you'll step forward into your forward fold. So you can hold on to elbows. I really love taking my hands behind the back of my skull, just doing a gentle tug. Okay, here we go. Let's heel to our feet together so that they touch. Inhale, come up to our chair pose. So we did this in our sun salutations. Hips towards ribs, weight back, booty low, arms up, and then I'm gonna ask you to bring your hands behind the back of your skull, elbows wide, and find your elbow twist. Super awkward, very uncomfortable. Not really how we do a chair twist. Hips a little bit lower, pull your left hip back, open that right elbow out to the side. Good, then open your arms into a nice big T, so you're T twisting here. You're gonna press your left heel down into the mat, and inhale, float your right leg up to the sky, coming into your single leg standing balance. So notice if there's this tendency to kind of like sink and collapse in your left hip, I want you to lift up nice and strong, core, hips towards ribs, not just navel back. And then on your exhale, we'll slowly move into our half moon. Right leg is gonna kick behind you, left hand will come down to the ground, right arm up towards the sky. So again, I want you to notice this tendency in a lot of shapes that we do to find a back bend in the lower back, which is actually, it's not the most effective way to engage your abdominals. So we're gonna find a core brace and then move everything from there. Hips, ribs together, really active in the core, lift your heel up from there, way more challenging to get that outer glute engagement. Good, take one more big breath in. On the exhale, bend your left knee, step back into your warrior 2. So in warrior 2, we have our right toes facing the long edge of our mat, pressing down into the pinky toe, arms out nice and wide like wings. You'll flip your front palm, tip yourself all the way up and back. Peaceful warrior, keep that bend in the front knee. Inhale, exhale, cartwheel both of your hands down to the ground. And then step back, high plank pose through your vinyasa. Heart up as you inhale. Hips will go up as you exhale, coming into your downward facing dog. Cool, let's try this on the other side. So on the inhale, left leg up to the sky. Exhale, draw your knee into your nose and lightly step your foot forward. Coming into low lunge twist, right hand will go down, left fingertips will come up. So again, we're gonna move into boomerang. Your heels are turning towards the right edge of your mat. Toes are turning towards the left edge of your mat. You're lowering your hips so that they hover above the ground so you reach your left hand back behind you. On your inhale, lift the hips and the left arm up. Exhale, melt down. So just getting that IT band. Top IT band, bottom IT band. All of the IT bands getting stretched. Good, one more time here. Let's lift up. Turn all 10 toes forward to the top of our mat. Crawl our hands forward and float that right leg up. So we're in supported 3. Again, right glute is leading the charge here. Keeping that right heel high. Hands can be on a block. Hands can be on an ottoman. On your exhale, bend the right knee, bend the left knee, and then tap your right knee very close to the ground. You're hitting the bottom part of your ankle. And then inhale, kick that right leg back. Supported 3. Exhale, tap. Inhale, kick back. Good, and then one more time here. Exhale to tap. Good, inhale to kick back. This time, exhale, step forward into your forward fold. One more time, hands behind the back of the skull, just a gentle tug here. Heel toe the feet together so that they touch. Coming into your chair pose again. Arms up, hips low, and then hands will come behind the back of the skull. So elbows are wide, abs are in. The moment we bring the hands behind the skull, we create opening the chest, which sometimes our bodies have learned. Opening the chest means lower back bend. We're trying to undo that patterning. So bring the abs in, just a chest expander. Then on your exhale, elbow twist. Oh my goodness. Right elbow forward, left elbow back. Guide that right hip back. Good, let's open up our arms into that T-twist. Press the right foot into the mat. Flow the left knee up into our chest. Find the breath. And again, really important here, a lot of us, when we stand on one leg, it's kind of typical for us to kind of pop the weight out, pop the hip out, collect up and in, hips towards ribs. Good, then we'll slowly move into our half moon on our exhale. Right hands will come down to the ground or block. Left arm, left leg will float up towards the sky. And you can notice here, it's a little bit more apparent, right? In my lower back, in this way, there's a back bend here. Let's get rid of that. Again, bring the lower ribs to the top of the hips, create that core brace, and then it's way more challenging to lift your heel up against that brace of the core. On your exhale, we'll bend our right knee, step our left foot to the back of our mat, come up into our warrior 2. So notice that I'm wiggling my right foot forward. That's so I can get my knee to stack over my heel. When I'm bending, I'm trying to get the thigh parallel to the ground. So I needed to widen my stance here. My left pinky toe pressing hard into the mat, inner edge of the left foot pulling up, arms out nice and wide like wings. Flip your front palm, tip yourself up and back, coming into that peaceful. Instead of backing away from the intensity, again, invite the intensity into the practice here. Bend deeper into the right knee, take an inhale. Exhale, cartwheel both of your hands down to your mat. Step back into your high plank pose, and then option to move through your vinyasa. You can always skip it. Heart will go up on the inhale, and hips will go up on the exhale. Oh, downward facing dog. Really nice, guys. Let's take 2 breaths here, just to cleanse and reset again. So for some of us, that meaty part of practice is going to be more challenging when we're moving through intensity. For some of us, sitting in intensity is going to be harder. So I want you to recognize which one or maybe both is you. And instead of trying to push away those feelings of discomfort, distress, challenge, I'd like you to invite all of those thoughts, all of those feelings, all of those physical body sensations onto your mat here. Last time through the flow. Inhale, right leg up to the sky, down dog split. On your exhale, draw your knee into your nose. Step your foot forward, low lunge twist, inhale. Going into our boomerang on our exhale, all 10 toes facing the long edge of your mat, melting the hips down. So here's a fun thing that I like to do. Lift your hips up, bring your right hand behind the back of your skull, and then twist your chest, open the elbow, and then exhale, melt back down. Good, 2 more times. Inhale, lift. You can either reach the arm up or do the fun thing. And then exhale, tap. And then one more time, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower, and this time, all 10 toes. Top of your mat, crawling forward. Warrior 3 with the ground. Or not, you can bring your hands to prayer heart center. If you're doing that, I want you to think about rolling your shoulders back so your chest is being exposed forward, kind of like you would in a flat back halfway lift. So you may need the ground for this, you may not need the ground. Hands can be at prayer. On your exhale, bend both of your knees, tap your left knee to your right ankle. Oh my goodness, inhale back. Exhale, tap, nice and slow, challenging balance. Inhale back. One more time here, exhale, bend. Good, inhale, extend back to warrior three. Exhale, everybody feet together, forward fold, top of your mat. Heel toe together. Chair pose is your inhale, arms will go up, hips will go low, hands behind the back of the skull. Let's go for that elbow twist, left elbow forward, right elbow back. Then inhale, open up the arms here. So this time we're gonna see if we can stay in the twist. Right heel lifts, right knee lifts up to your chest, coming into a twisting standing balance. The way I like to work this, bring my left hand to the outside of my right knee, use that as leverage to twist my torso even further back behind me. My friends who have a little bit more mobility in their practice, left hand to the outer edge of your right foot, you kick your right leg forward, pull the right hand back. With either a straight leg or a bent knee, swing the left or right leg rather behind you, left hand down to the ground, coming into your half moon. So it might be helpful to have a block here. Right hand behind the back of your skull, navel in, you're gonna bend and tap. Right elbow, right knee. Inhale, kick back. Oh yeah. Exhale, bend, elbow to knee. Inhale, kick back, and then one more time, exhale. Inhale, kick back, step back, all the way into peaceful warrior. So inhale, reaching up, press into the left heel, straighten the left leg, peaceful triangle. All 10 toes to the long edge of your mat. We're coming into wide-legged forward fold, allowing our head to release down, holding onto elbows maybe, doing a little sway. I also happen to like holding onto the outside of my ankles, just pulling my head down. Although honestly, my top knot has grown quite large throughout quarantine and can't really get my head down to the ground because my top knot impedes me. So, you know, that's a thing too. You might want to take your hands behind the back, interlace, punch the knuckles up for a full chest expander. Good, let's take our hands back down to the ground, crawl back towards the top of our mat. Option here, send the left leg back up to the sky. Coming into your down dog split, and then you can move through a three-legged vinyasa if you'd like. Great, downward facing dog. Last time, here we go guys. Left leg up, inhale. Exhale, knee to nose, step your foot forward. Low lunge twist, right hand down, left fingertips up towards the sky, inhale. Exhale, find your boomerang. So all 10 toes to the long edge of your mat. As you come up this time, hand can come behind the skull. You can twist your chest and gaze towards the sky. And then exhale, lower down. 2 more times, inhale, lift, either traditional or fancy. Exhale, lower. One more time. Exhale, lower. This time, all 10 toes forward. Hands crawl forward. Warrior 3, with the ground supported or without. So, especially when your hands leave the mat, you've got to engage your back right glute to keep the right heel up, or else that right leg is going to bring the shape down to the ground. 3 times we do this. Bend your left knee, tap your right knee, to the left ankle, inhale, kick it back, 2 more times, exhale, bend. Whew, that single leg stability, so good for my runners. 1 more time, kick it back, step it forward, forward fold. Wow, that side was really, really hard. Glad that's the last time we're doing that. Okay, let's heel our feet together so that they touch. Inhale to our chair pose. Hands behind the back of the skull. Elbow twist. Left elbow back, right elbow forward. And then open it up into that T-twist. Here we go. Left heel lifts. The entire shape comes up into single leg standing balance with a twist. 3 options. Stay, right hand to the outside of your left knee. Pull and rotate deeper. Option 3, hold on to the outside of your left foot. Kick that foot forward. Use the length of the leg to rotate that left hand back. Good, with a straight leg or a bent knee. Swing that guy back behind you, right hand to the ground or a block. Left hand back of your skull. On your exhale, bend, elbow taps your knee. Inhale, kick back without the back bend. So we're finding this core brace a little bit more intensity. We're extending back without losing the core brace in the half moon. One more time. Inhale, kick it back. Step back. All the way into peaceful warrior. So you're tipping back. You're pressing into your right heel, straightening the right leg, and then circling all the way forward and down, coming into your wide-legged forward fold. So again, different options, holding on, swaying a little bit side to side. And then if you have the space here, you can always crawl your hands through your legs, bend your elbows, and it's like you're trying to pull your head in between your legs. Okay, inhale, flat back, halfway lift. We'll pivot towards the top of our mats, flatten the palms, and then send the right leg up to the sky. So you have an option here. You can do a three-legged vinyasa. If you have a chin stand in your practice, this is the time to do it. I will go ahead and demo that for you. Roll forward, bend the elbows. Upward facing dog is your inhale. You skip chaturanga if you're doing chin stand. Exhale, downward facing dog. Y'all crushed. Okay, let's cool it down. So we're gonna roll forward, bend the elbows, belly to the floor, and then just topple on over to our backs. Just a casual roll. I used to call that a log roll, just log roll over, but like literally no one knew what that was, and so I stopped using it. But if you know what a log roll is, you can go ahead and log roll over. Right ankle on top of your left thigh. We're making a figure four. So there's going to be a bunch of different ways to do this. The place that we'll all eventually come back to is this guy, figure four. Use your right hand to steer your right knee open and away from you. If you need more, hands come to the back of that left hamstring. You pull the left thigh in, but instead of letting the right knee come in as well, you got to actively open that right knee out away from you. So you can either do that using your elbow, or I just like to use my mind to make the knee open up. Good. If this is not enough for you, there's a third option, which is like a full half pigeon reclined. You can take the sole of your right foot into the nook of your left elbow, and then wrap your right arm in front of your right thigh. Interlace your hands. So you're basically cradling your shin bone like you would a small child. You'll extend your left leg long, keep your head on the ground, and then pull that shin bone in towards your chest. So it is truly like basically pigeon pose, but on your back instead of the shin bone down. Okay, here we go. We're gonna come back into that first figure four that we did where our left foot was on the ground. From here, this is one of my favorite stretches, and it's a really good one for my runners, my spinners, my strength trainers. You're gonna take your right ankle and pull your left knee across to the right. That's just step one. Then you're gonna heel toe your left foot all the way back, until your left knee is in line with your hip. You're gonna feel a way intense stretch here. If this is weird on your knee, bend your left knee even more so that your heel comes really close to your butt. The right foot is gonna act as a weight where you pull your knee closer down to the ground. So you can see that there's like a bit, I can literally fit both of my arms underneath my back here. You're not trying to keep your back flat on the ground here. Your back can lift off of the mat. This is really for that hip flexor, that quad, the IT band. Then you can just let yourself relax. Sometimes I bring my arms up and overhead just to get that full length from my left elbow all the way down through my hip flexor to my left knee. Good, let's undo that. So right foot on the ground, and then your left knee joins. Okay, come back to stillness. That can be really intense the first time you do that. Left ankle on top of your right thigh, make that figure four. Okay, back to, so what I like is that the figure four actually takes away all of that weirdness if you felt it in your back and in your knee. So figure four is the place that you want to be if you feel any uncomfortability. And again, you're trying to press your left knee open. If you need a little bit more, hands come to the back of the right thigh. And again, see how like my left knee here is pulling in towards my torso, not an effective stretch. You want to press the knee open a little bit more, and then you'll start to feel it all along the outer glute. Okay. And again, this could be the place that you stay. If you feel sensation, you stay here. If you need more sensation, you take your left foot to the nook of your right elbow, left elbow wraps around the front of your quad, right leg goes long, and you're kind of cradling your shin bone like a small child. And essentially you're doing pigeon pose, but on your back. Good, let's bring it back. Right foot on the ground, figure four. Then we're gonna do that really lovely quad hip flexor IT band stretch. So your left ankle is gonna draw your right knee to the left side of your mat, and then you're just heel toeing your right foot back, back, back. Again, it can feel weird for some people's knees. Increase the bend of the knee. So if you bring your heel, right heel closer to your butt, it will feel better. And then use your left foot to gently pull your right knee down to the ground. Again, arms can come up and overhead. And just be here, breathe, feel the intensity. Good, and then as you feel ready, left foot on the ground, right foot on the ground. This time, hug both of your knees into your chest and draw some circles with them. Do the circles in the opposite direction. Knees will stay wide, and then we'll either stay here or you can hold on to your feet for happy baby. Do a little rock side to side. I like to stretch both of my legs just to get into my hamstrings a little bit more. Whatever you're doing, you want to keep your lower back flat on the ground, and if you even try to press like the top of your glute into the floor, you'll also get a nice little QL release here. When you're ready, we'll bring the soles of our feet back together, knees open like the pages of a book, coming back into Supta Baddha Konasana. Hands can come onto your body somewhere. Arms can come up and overhead. Allow the eyes to fall gently shut. Maybe do a little bit of a wiggle around your mat so that your shoulders, your hips settle a little bit more evenly into the ground. Empty out all the air inside of your body. Take a big breath in through your nose, filling up your belly, your heart, and your head. And sigh out, exhale. Try that again, breathing in through your nose, filling yourself up. Breathing out. Allowing all of your thoughts to exist. Allowing all of your feelings to exist. Allowing all of the body sensations to be as they are. And instead of feeling an overwhelming need to push them away, to avoid them, to numb them. What have I learned in the last 45 minutes that can help me encounter these thoughts with more grace and more ease? As you feel ready, start to gently wiggle your fingers and toes. Roll on over to one side. Use your hands and press yourself up into a comfortable seat. As you arrive in that seat, bring your hands together at prayer heart center. We'll close our eyes and finish our time here with one deep breath. Empty out all of the air inside of your body. Take a big breath in through your nose, fill up belly, heart, and head. And a big breath out. Pray your hands, fill it up to the space in between your eyes with gratitude for these practices and for each other. Namaste. Thank you all so much for practicing with me today. I hope you had a lovely 45-minute practice. I know that this mat really helped me because I was sweating today. Remember to follow us at Shop Yoga Strong, and remember that you are Yoga Strong. We will see you next time, y'all. Have a great day.